In 1973, inside of a chicken barn in a little town in South Georgia, the future of many lives would change forever. Farmer and biblical scholar Clarence Jordan had an idea that eventually became the Habitat of Humanity. Mr. Jordan took his farm-grown idea and partnered with the eventual founders Millard and Linda Fuller, introducing the idea of partnership housing. This idea would eventually end up housing over 600,000 families worldwide by 2012. It is a nonprofit, no-interest home loan provided by sponsors and lots of fundraising that would eventually build the Fund for Humanity, helping house more families throughout many years. This concept eventually came to be known as what we now know as Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity shelters the idea of building strength and stability and self-reliance through shelter. Through your involvement with Habitat for Humanity, we can continue helping to construct homes, and through donated sponsorships, Habitat for Humanity can continue housing families all over the world. Having started in a chicken barn, Habitat for Humanity houses millions of people worldwide throughout their volunteer and sponsorships. Being a nonprofit dependent on funding and volunteer work, Habitat for Humanity continues to need your help and your support to continue bettering the communities around the world. You may ask, how can you help, and how do the families themselves aid in this continuing growth of Habitat for Humanity? Looking deeper into what Habitat is about, we can see a better future for millions of families. Habitat for Humanity has the tools to build a better future, and with your help, there are many ways to be a sponsor for Habitat for Humanity. 1, you can donate funding. 2, volunteer your time, construction, and help build and help with repairs around the community. You can donate materials and services. Corporations can donate full housing builds. Families of Habitat for Humanity also help aid in the volunteer work of their community as well. Habitat families donate back by helping with other builds, as well as paying their home loan, which allows other homes to be built for other families. Families involved by partnering with Habitat for Humanity help build their own homes with the help of side-by-side volunteers. And not only do they work many volunteer hours on their own home, putting in sweat equity, but Habitat recipients are required to also take financial courses on budgeting, along with having credit scores that are loan obtainable. And there are many hours of work that go into being a new homeowner for Habitat for Humanity and volunteers, and the Habitat recipients become Habitat family. Although you have already seen the inside of the home building process as a volunteer or a potential family recipient, Habitat for Humanity is so much more than just building homes. And although our goal is to provide a safe place called home, we also aid in so much more. In addition to home builds, Habitat has many hard hats. Behind the scenes, they do repairs for seniors through a program called Aging in Place, and help in vital repairs of homes that need critical repair. Habitat works as advocates in the U.S. and throughout other nations, volunteering to help improve on housing laws and regulations and aid in fair home ownership, affordable home ownership. Habitat. Now that we see inside the window of Habitat for Humanity, you can help raise the walls to a new life and set a new foundation for many families in need. Habitat for Humanity shelters the idea of building strength, stability, and self-reliance through shelter. And through your help and your involvement, Habitat for Humanity can continue helping to construct homes. And through donated sponsorships, Habitat for Humanity can continue housing families all over the world. Having started in a chicken coop, Habitat for Humanity housed millions of people worldwide throughout volunteer and sponsorship efforts. So being a nonprofit organization dependent on funding and volunteer work, Habitat for Humanity continues to need your help and your support to continue bettering the communities around the world. As spoken by Roy T. Bennett, the light in the heart, be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone feels loved and believes in the goodness of other people. Join Habitat for Humanity in our sponsorship and volunteer work. Thank you.